I'm Gabriel Richi,
Jeremiah McConan.
and welcome to the 26th edition of the Richi and Meko Connection. We have another hybrid episode for you today. Last week was our first official basketball and football episode. We're going to do that again. This week, a little more football. It's a little more even. Last week with the all 75 and all that, and first week of the NBA, it was very basketball heavy. This week, you know, a lot more to talk about with football. It was a interesting week in football.
Facts.
We're gonna start off with the really important teams to most of our listeners. We're gonna start off with the Celtics. We'll bounce around. We'll get to the Pats. We'll get to the Bucks. And then we're gonna do good vibes. Bad vibes was really good last week. I'm gonna run that back this week, and we'll see what else we cover. Who knows? Sometimes we call audibles on the fly, but we can get going with the Celtics. It hasn't gotten better since our last podcast. We actually recorded. We weren't super high on them after the last episode, and that was fresh off of a win, which seems to be a rarity for these guys.
Facts.
Recently, was their last game in Washington?
Yeah, that
And
double
that was
overtime
brutal.
bullshit.
That was very reminiscent of their first game of the year, double OT, Jalen going off.
Fucking hate
Can't
this team,
can't
bro.
can't really execute down the stretch. What are your thoughts on the Celtics thus far? I said the same thing last week. I want to know if anything's changed for you.
Yeah, if anything, bro, it's only gotten worse. I I think it's come to the point for me where I just have to really question this Tatum and Brown fit, because they're really just two dudes who do the same thing. Neither of them aren't playmakers. Like Tatum this year is still only averaging 3.8 assists. Brown is averaging 2.4. That's just scary. We already know Tatum's issues. He's not getting to the line enough. He's settling for bad jump shots. The Wizards game was just another classic from him where it was just terrible shot selection after terrible shot selection. Um, I don't know, man. This team is just depressing. They depress me. I hate watching them. I saw today what they didn't extend. Who was it? Was it Grant Williams and I think Romeo Langford? Just random weird extensions, or I forgot what even happened, bro. I don't, man. I just hate this team, Gabe. I just hate this team.
So you say you hate them. I will say I like them a lot more than I have in years past, at least in the past 4 years. We've been texting back and forth. The past 4 years have just been disappointment after disappointment. They go so far, they're a game away from the NBA Finals in 2018. Since then, you have the real, I don't care what you say about the past few years with the Tatum and Brown pairing, the real most hateable Celtics team, most hateable sports team I've ever had to root for is that 2018-2019 Kyrie team, where
Horrible.
it culminates in him just not giving a shit in game 5 of that Bucks series.
Posting up Giannis.
I've never had so many fights. I've never been called the bad guy so much with I just don't see it for this team. And, I don't like the attitude of this team. Now it's like everybody is sort of on the same page with their
Funny how that works.
disdain. Right, exactly. Where it's like, I was a douchebag back then. Anyways, we get Kemba and spirits are high again. But then that team, it wasn't as much of it wasn't the Kyrie thing anymore. So
It wasn't as
that bad.
toxic.
It wasn't as
Yeah.
toxic, but it was, you guys seem okay with not giving your best effort every night and losing.
Right.
Where it's like the thing that comes up in every Celtics discussion ever in the past 4 years is, well, they have the talent. I mean, they're one of the most talented teams in the league, and they're really young. But we're seeing there's a lot more talented teams this year than there have been in years past, where the East is not a cakewalk. It's been trending in that direction for a while, which is something we mentioned in our Eastern Conference preview, I'm pretty sure. Tatum, he's still putting up numbers. He's the 6th highest scorer in the league. I'm
over that shit now with him.
Right. I mean, the numbers are there. He played good defense down the stretch in that Wizards game. I don't want to put this all on Tatum at all. I'm just saying, like I said last week, I'm not sure if he's the guy where it's like end of the game, automatically we're going to Tatum. Like it's an automatic. That's our best shot. Where it's like, I watched them, and I said this last week. I watched them throughout the 2017, 2018 playoffs, Brad Stevens, when he had nothing to work with, make something out of nothing with, a bunch of backdoor screens and everything. And we would find Horford underneath, which is
Mhm.
where I'm going with all this, where it's like, this team isn't that hateable. It's just really underwhelming for me. And we didn't have super high hopes for them, but Horford has been a nice spot. He's
Yeah.
playing his best basketball since he was on the Celtics last year. He's sort of like Jamie Collins in football, where he's on the
Yeah.
Patriots, he balls out for the Pats, he goes somewhere else, he becomes a ghost, and then he's back in Belichick's defense doing the same thing, looking the same as he always has.
Having
Horford's
other
kind of like that
people
for the
pay
Celtics,
him.
or a
Facts.
Brandon Bolden. It's kind of like that deal with Horford, where it's just like, it's
Mm,
nice to have him. Just having a guy like that in the locker room gives me hope for the future of this team.
yeah.
However, you look at the way, and I know this is sort of long-winded, but you look at the way Kemba and Fournier play in New York as soon as they get there, and it's been that way for a few other guys when they leave Boston. Rozier has been no slouch ever since he left. I'm wondering
Balling.
if this ISO ball that we've been watching, that is not fun to watch. We've never been fans of it. Is that just not ever going to get you a championship unless you're
No,
LeBron
I
James,
would.
who doesn't even
He's
really
but
play ISO ball like that. He's a
he's an
playmaker.
all-time distributor. Yeah.
He's a playmaker first. Um, does this Tatum and Brown? Yes, they're talented. Yes, they put up numbers. It might be because I don't think they're all-time
Yeah.
greats, at least not now.
No, not even close.
If you're
No.
not that, then it doesn't matter. Like, teams are going to figure that out down the stretch. I just don't know. I'm looking at they're
Yeah.
two
I
and
think what's
four.
important to remember with them, and sometimes I have to remind myself this too, is Tatum is only 23 and Jalen's only 24.
Mhm.
So although now, like when I look at them, it's like, man, they're just not the playmakers. They're not the guys who make others around them better. They are still really young as far as like basketball wise. And I mean, 23, 24, they're going to be completely different players when they're 27, 28. The issue is, though, we know how players are these days. And,
Mhm.
once they sign that contract, it's kind of like a ticking time clock for the team
Right.
to hurry up and get this shit together, especially in today's climate.
And especially when
So,
you look at Tatum's body language
right. I mean,
in every
wearing
game.
Kobe jerseys and shit, let's
The
not get into
Lakers
that too
picture, yeah.
much. But yeah, what's it called? So there is kind of a time clock that we're working against here with these guys. And if
Which is
this
what, yeah.
process is just gonna take throughout, like if the process of them becoming the ultimate playmakers that's like at a championship level, if that's gonna drag out through the Boston years and then maybe they're fed up and they do that elsewhere, it's gonna really suck because
Yeah. And they're not
they're special, but
they're special. They're very young, but the rest of the
yeah,
team isn't just waiting for them. And other young players are coming
right.
into the league. We're going to get to Mobley later, but here's just some other young guys in the
Mm,
league before we're just like thinking, oh, well, we're young now. We might not be in the championship now, but Tatum and Brown eventually are just going to turn into the Golden State Warriors.
yeah,
Luka Doncic is 22 years old. Zion,
yikes.
who knows right now, but he's
Who the
just
fuck knows with
21.
that
He
guy?
looks great
Yeah.
when he's actually on the court.
I
Mitchell's
have so much
25.
questions. Yeah.
Giannis is 26.
Mm-hmm.
The list kind of gets a little. I'm skipping over some guys.
I
Jamal
guess
Murray's
Jokic
24.
Jokic
Jokic
isn't
is
too old, right?
26. Jokic
Yeah.
is 26. Towns is 25. Ja
There's a lot
Morant's a
of
baby.
guys.
Yeah, there's a
Ja.
bunch of guys who are very young in this league that are balling out at high
Right.
levels and have a lot more positive vibes around them than these two guys right now. And
Exactly.
I personally like play style wise. Yes, Tatum seems like more of a completed project, but I definitely enjoy
That's the
Jalen's
scary
style of
part.
play a little more.
Yeah.
Um, there's guys around the league that I just prefer watching. And I think they get their teammates more involved. And it's easier when you're a guy who can get your teammates involved. You can plug anybody into that offense.
Yeah. And that's the important piece. And the more I think about it, man, sometimes I just go back and forth because it's like I feel like the playmaking sometimes is that just a natural thing that dudes have? Is that something they could really develop? But then dudes like Kawhi and KD, even Paul George, they have gotten to a level of playmaking that's good enough if you have another playmaker alongside with them when they're not
Mhm.
when they're not the primary playmakers.
Right. We're not
With
asking
Tatum,
everybody to be Magic.
Yeah, with Tatum and Brown, it's like you guys are having kind of depending on each other as far as playmaking goes.
Hmm.
Probably our two best playmakers. Marcus Smart, I mean, don't even get me started on him. He's still jacking up shots with
And that's a
14
roster issue.
seconds left in the shot clock, and when Tatum and Brown are wide open. Neesmith is I don't well like what even happened to him? Is he still alive? Does anyone have any idea about that? Now I'm just going off on the Celtics roster as a
Well,
whole. And
I
yeah,
mean,
like you
that's what
said,
we should do
roster
because
issue.
that's what
Yeah,
we started with. This isn't just a Tatum Brown thing.
right.
They're combining for 60, 70 points a night recently,
Mhm.
but you can't do much when you have a Neesmith and a Grant Williams and a Marcus Smart around you. Sure,
Yeah.
Marcus Smart would be awesome on as like a 6 man on an NBA championship team. Like he'd be
Mhm.
in the finals. He'd be in your crunch time lineup in the finals when you have somebody else to take the big shot.
Yeah, he
But he
has
can't
way too
be
much
the
of a
guy bringing up
hand.
the court on the regular.
Yeah,
Dennis
hell
Schroeder
no.
is Dennis Schroeder. He's trick or treat. He has always
Yep.
been this way. Richardson, I was enjoying his
Not
game at some
terrible,
points.
but
Yeah,
yeah.
I just like that he's an able body that can kind of create his own shot at a certain level, which is something this team hasn't had in a while, I feel,
Yeah.
for somebody
Yeah.
that far down the roster. Um, but it's you just need to really think about this roster as a whole and thinking about packages and deals that you can make. Because this is the worst
I
spot
look
you
at
can be
smart
in the NBA.
first.
We're falling into that spot,
The purgatory.
the
Facts.
purgatory, the back,
The
the
worst place to be.
5 to 10 seed where nothing's coming your way in the draft lottery.
Because you're
Nobody
not
wants
that
to come
bad.
to you
Yeah.
because it's going to be
Ugh,
in a couple months. It's going to be
I hate
15
that
degrees
shit.
here,
Yep.
and we're not in New York City. We're not in LA. I don't
It
know,
could get
man.
dark, bro.
It could
It
get
can get
dark.
real dark.
We're 6 games into the season. Who knows? I'm sure the NBA is a game of runs, not just on the court, but like when it comes to wins and losses. I'm sure they're going to go on a run at some point. But I
So
just that's something I really need
yeah,
to see before I feel better about this team.
I don't even know if I really see a run in them. And you mentioned maybe is it time to start shuffling some pieces. I mean, could we be possibly looking at a Marcus Smart trade coming up soon? And I don't want to say this because I do love him, but he's already injured first 2 weeks in. Rob Williams could Brad potentially pull a trigger on a trade like that if this is just going to be a repetitive thing with them, just
Yeah,
losing every night in close games.
yeah. I mean, listen, Smart is the heart and soul of this team. I love him. He's had a million great moments. However, when is it time to just move on and think about
Mhm.
something else? We're not moving on from a guy who won us a championship.
Right.
We're moving on from a guy when everything's clicking for everybody and everything's rolling. This guy comes down and takes a shot with 18 seconds left on the shot clock. And then, but on the flip side, we need a big steal. He's there to get it. Nobody else's shot is falling. All of a sudden, he's there to score. We need somebody who can play well with great players.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if Smart is that at this point in his career. You mentioned Robert Williams. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what you get in return. I just
Yeah.
does the risk of losing him outweigh the reward? I don't
They're
know.
on good contracts at least, both of them. But you're right, man. There's a world in which we trade Robert Williams and he turns into an all defensive center, and it's like fuck. But with Marcus Smart, yeah, I guess maybe Brad could be because Brad has to be the dude calling the shots now. I'd assume maybe he's afraid of if they trade Smart, then how does Tatum and Brown respond to that? And it's a league where these teams got to keep their superstars happy.
Mhm.
Maybe that's the hesitancy on a Marcus Smart trade. I don't know. I'm just thinking, but we'll see. Maybe they turn it around. They go on a 10-game winning streak, and we'll be good. But I don't know. This is not a team I'm even lower on them than I was in the preview. So
And we could listen back to this in a couple months and feel really like want to delete this
yeah,
episode
that's
because
how it
of
works.
what we've
Yeah.
said, or we're gonna be like, there was something to what we were saying.
Yeah, it's the nature of the game.
How would you feel
We
about
can move
like
on from the Celtics. So that was 15 minutes. We kept it under 15. Not terrible.
who cares?
Unless do you have any last thoughts? I don't know. I'm good on them.
Well, I don't even feel good about saying this. Maybe I'll cut it from the pod. If you watch
Uh-oh.
YouTube, you'll be able to get like a smart,
Ooh, is this a trade?
Robert Williams and some
Oh
picks
shit.
and that. I honestly
Okay.
don't even think the Celtics have this
For
in the
who? For who? Now you got my
or
attention
Ben
now, bro.
Simmons.
Okay.
Or Ben Simmons, who
Whoa.
doesn't need the ball at all. That doesn't
Gabe.
change our attitude. That's like
That
taking the
ah,
locker room, like that's taking the heart and soul of our locker room and just giving it
because we
cancer,
need to
maybe.
know if Simmons is just mentally ready, which it doesn't look like he is.
Right. I just wanted to throw
That's
it
what
out there. I just wanted to throw it out there because he is really
it's
talented still.
it's really interesting though, because you're right. He doesn't need the ball. He would be a maniac on defense. This is the best case scenario, obviously. There's 10 other scenarios in which this just burns into flames immediately. But he's a guy who doesn't need the ball. Like he doesn't need the ball as far as scoring playmaking, but having him push down the floor with Tatum and Brown running like that, just the thought of that is
Just
amazing.
on
But
defense, he's a
and
guy.
defensively, yeah, he's
You're
the
upgrading.
best defender in the league, in my opinion,
Yeah,
over
you're
Gobert.
upgrading from
Fuck that
smart
dude,
on
Gobert.
defense, which is like some people would be like, how is
Major
that possible?
upgrade.
But
Smart is
and then
overrated defensively now.
exactly. That's what
Real
the guy,
Celtics fans
my
know.
friend from the gym who called into Felger Maz called him like, I think he called him like a prop
Yeah.
defender or something.
He
Like it's
just
just like,
guards bigger dudes in the post, and that's it.
yeah,
He's fucking yeah. That's whoo man, you blew my mind with that one. I'm not gonna lie.
or like a Dame Lillard.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
think we have
I'm
enough
about
for
to
either of the guys,
have a
honestly.
stroke right now.
I don't think we have enough for either of the guys. If we got
They might be
Dame,
tough. Simmons, I think
if we got
they
Dame,
might be tough. Dame, they
I buy
probably
a
asking for
jersey
Jalen.
immediately.
Oh yeah, that would just be nuts. But they're probably asking for Jalen. Oh, and then Tatum and Dame.
And that team probably doesn't even come out of the East.
Probably not, yeah. Because
Not at
Dame
this
is
point in
what
time.
Dame is. It's not gonna get better from Dame from here on out. Dame's having a rough start to the year. I don't know, man. It's interesting things going on in Portland. Damn though. Wow, what a Celtics segment that was. That was intense. Do we want to move on from the Celtics now?
Yeah,
Any
is there
more?
is somebody else you want to cover for basketball?
I guess.
We do have your segment whenever you
Do
want
you
to
want me to
drop it.
do Brooklyn now or after Mobley? It doesn't matter to me. I could do Brooklyn now
Oh,
real
we could do
quick.
Brooklyn now. Yeah, Jeremiah every
Yeah,
week. I mean, the Brooklyn's really his team.
that's those. Yeah,
Welcome to Jeremiah McConan's Brooklyn
the
Nets
Brooklyn.
Cabaret.
Got a little theme song.
If you're from
But
Rosendale, you know the Pet Cabaret. This is the Nets Cabaret.
this is the Nets cabaret. Yeah, man. I mean, quick Brooklyn update. James Harden had a really good game against Indiana. And we should talk about this too, the whole rule change and how he's adjusted, because I don't think we've got a chance to talk about that too much on the pod.
Mhm.
But he did seem to have a bounce back game against the Pacers. It's still a constant theme of Nash just experimenting with different lineups from Claxton to Bruce Brown, Aldridge, Millsap, Javon Carter, who I liked him for the first few games, and now he's just been a disaster. Yeah, the Harden adjusting to the rule change, though, I feel as if that's really the main storyline in Brooklyn right now, because Durant is still Durant. I mean, walking 30 points a game. Joe Harris is
He
still
has the most
struggling
points in
with
the
that
league right
shot.
now.
Does he really?
Yeah, which is weird because he's not.
But he's not averaging the most. Maybe the other dudes
How's
missed a
that work?
couple. He's probably played all the games, and the other dudes played one less game, but they probably
Really?
scored
Did
as
Steph
much.
miss a night? Like Steph is the
I don't
guy lead.
remember.
Steph
I
and
don't
Ja
remember
are
Steph.
leading, but I haven't remembered. I haven't
Durant's
noticed
third,
anyone.
right? Last I checked, he was third on the
Yeah,
actual. Yeah, but he has the most points. Yeah, they probably, or maybe he's played one more game than them, and they might
Durant
even out
6'10".
tonight. He's fucking nuts. Yeah, Durant has just been unworldly in these games. It's just been a joy to watch. He had a crazy highlight where he spilled, was it Tony Craig, I think? And it was the cleanest, like behind the
Push
back.
off or not?
Yeah, no
I
push
hate to
off.
have
No,
these debates.
I watched it a couple times to make sure. It
That
was
guy didn't
clean.
fall from a. Here's all I'm gonna say
It was
about that.
body contact, which is normal, like the
That guy
normal
didn't fall
chest to
because he got
chest.
hit. He didn't. He didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Kyrie. Oh, you're
That
going this
wasn't an
way. I thought
ankle.
you were going this way. That was.
It was low key an ankle
It
snatcher,
was
low
just
key.
like
He had him leaning because he
Durant's.
probably thought KD was going to that corner. But it was body. I'll say that. It was KD's chest.
Yeah, I
And then
mean,
he
it
but
wasn't.
the ability to just go behind the back at his size is so stupid,
I
bro.
know.
And then the hezzy pull up. But Harden, man, and I know you got some thoughts on this. The
I
rule
mean, these aren't
change.
Harden. Even with the
He
other
looked
night.
good in Indiana. He looked good against Indiana. He looked pretty good against Detroit in a game in which Durant got ejected, but then again, it's Detroit. So those two sample sizes of and I'm putting this in quotes, bounce back games from Harden, we should take into account. But
And it's
it's
the beginning
definitely
of the
been an
year.
adjustment period for the rules. And I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, listen, here are his
Oh,
point totals. This is a guy who dropped like what, 35 in a year or something?
yeah, it's literally.
15, 14, 14, 29, and then 18
Yeah,
versus
18
Detroit.
triple double.
I
Yeah.
mean, listen, this is a guy who always had 30 a night, but half of that came at the free throw line.
And before Indiana, it was like 2 free throws, 3 free throws, 4 free throw trips a line.
Yeah, and Tim Legler went on Rosillo and said
Who
like
was
some, I mean,
awesome, by the
that
way.
was like he kept dropping.
He's a
Wow,
force.
what a truth bomb. He kept dropping
Facts, yeah,
those.
it was a lot of wows, no bullshit.
But just like players would play off of Harden because they didn't want to get the foul call. If
Yeah,
you're a
dude
good
used to be.
shooter, that's just going to give you free range to hit those shots. And then you
Remember the
also have the
meme?
shots when he actually does get to the line. So
Remember the
those,
meme with dudes behind their back like they're getting handcuffed, like trying to guard him that one year
yeah,
in Houston? It was
right.
ridiculous.
Yeah. So it makes sense that there's going to at least be adjustment period. If not, he might not be able to adjust it and he's not going to be a 35-point scorer without those BS trips to the free throw line. And you just sounded like a hater when you would say this back then, but it's true.
Yeah.
And it's not, oh, he's getting his bucket. He's not getting to the line because he's going into the bucket and getting there like Giannis going 14 for 15 or whatever in the finals. It's not that. It's
That still blows my mind.
it's just me going to the, it's just me getting you on a fake or something or tricking you
Yeah.
into fouling me. Technically back a year ago, that's what a foul would be. It's been just awesome watching guys still try to get away with it and the refs just aren't budging. And the games have been much more entertaining. I even see, I'll see the Celtics, like they'll cry for some calls here and there. And
A lot of guys, yeah. Harden's the poster child for it, and
Yeah.
deservedly so, because he
Right.
just took it to a whole nother level.
and it seems like it's
But you're
affected him
right.
the most.
Exactly, yeah. But you're right though. It's an epidemic in the league in which a lot of dudes are just have trained their minds to just play this certain way where it's,
Yeah.
if I see a dude's hand out, I immediately just initiate
Yeah.
contact and try to lock my arm. All that bullshit that they do.
Right.
Yeah, man, it's an issue in the league. But I love the dedication of the refs in the league to be like,
So
no,
far, so good, right?
so far so good. Yeah, right. Who knows? But yeah,
Um,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that LeBron, and here's the thing, like, I feel like if it was LeBron, he has so much power that he could get away with it, but that's not, LeBron will get bullshit calls, but it's really like him going to
I'll
the
give
bucket.
LeBron credit on that. Yeah.
It's him going to the bucket and getting those star calls where it's like, nobody touched you, dude.
Yeah.
He's not like, oh, I'm tricking you into this, where that's why I feel good about this rule, where it's like, it's not something that's going to affect LeBron or like most of the top guys in the league.
Durant, it just hasn't even
Durant just balls.
which
He's
is
always been like that. And
I
I
mean,
hate
he's
to
doing
say it.
that.
I
He's
hate
not
to
even
give this guy
making
a compliment.
threes.
Kyrie
Yeah.
never did that bullshit either.
Right.
That's why I
Some of
loved
these
his
dudes,
game. He never
pure
does. Kyrie
scorers.
never stiff arms people. Kyrie never fucking, it's all just handle with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Man, you're right. You're right. As
Where
much
it's like,
as
you're going to see this affect. This is going to affect his point total for the year, regardless of if he,
for sure.
you know, adjust or not. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I'm sure he's a great scorer. It's just he's the greatest scorer of all time bullshit will fly out the window if
Yeah, the
he,
best one-on-one scorer.
unless he
What was
blows my
Charles
mind.
Barkley saying that he's the best
Yeah.
one-on-one? It's like,
Yeah,
come
it's
on,
just
man.
no, he just
There's
can't
like
guard you
10
because we're
guys.
gonna get a foul call.
There's 10 guys off the top of my head that I could name already. But yeah, you're right, man. We're gonna see, because like I said, good game against Indiana. He went to the free throw line 19 times. And a lot of it, I will be fair, there were a couple that were questionable, but some of it were legit fouls, him being aggressive. And again in Detroit, but like I said, early in the year, those two teams are not teams we're going to be hearing about in May or whenever the Eastern Conference Finals are, in the semifinals and all that. But we're gonna see, man. It's something to monitor. And obviously with the Nets, no update on Kyrie still. And man, you mentioned Kyrie real quick. It's such a shame, because as much of the antics that he does off the court and all the bullshit he does, watching him on the court is truly a special sight. Like, because when you were just talking about the way he balls and avoids fouls, I was just thinking like, yo, man, that dude when he's on the court, the shit that he's capable of doing is really like some unworldly shit. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, he's stripped not only us but himself of the enjoyment of seeing that. So we'll
Right.
wait to see how that plays out. We can move on from Brooklyn though. I don't have much thoughts left. If you want
So
to
yeah, we can talk about
bounce
Mobley,
around,
but we could talk about Mobley and the Cavs, who the way here, I admittedly haven't watched much of the Cavs and much of Mobley. I've seen a few. He looks awesome. Um, People were talking about the Cavs like they were 6-0, and then I look at their
some
record, they're like 3-4.
premature hysteria.
People were talking about them like
I
they're
know.
like they're gonna be in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Simmons
They
was
might not make the
gassing it,
playoffs.
bro.
I'm hip,
Yeah, he was gassing it.
which he
Mobley's
does
been
like
great,
five
but the
times a year.
team,
Simmons
come
will do
on,
that 5 times a year with like whoever.
facts.
For the people who might not know Mobley, because I feel like he's a name that only people who really pay attention to the league
Kind of locked in,
know.
yeah.
Mobley, Scotty Barnes. Do you want to talk about just give like people who might not know much about these rookies and just give them like a rundown? You could start with Mobley. I feel like he's a really important one because he's something we haven't really
100%.
seen much of in the league.
100%. Mobley for sure. And this goes back to the mock draft, and it's all playing out right before us. When you see the instincts that he has on defense to contest shots, but in this league where it's so hard to contest the shot now, especially if you're big, if you have a 6'3" guard just throwing his body into you, like 9 times out of 10, the guard's gonna get the foul. But he already has this like innate ability to stay vertical and just contest every shot. There's that crazy stat. He's contested like 57 shots through 3 games, which is like on some Hakeem shit.
Yeah.
But defensively, he's something special. And offensively, it's still a work in progress, but you can see it there. He ain't afraid to take the jump shot. It's like a nice, clean mechanic to it. It's not one of those awkward, he shouldn't be shooting those type jump shots. So yeah, Mobley, Cleveland, they got one with him. LeBron said it yesterday or whenever they played them a couple days ago. He was like, yeah, looks like they've been drafted well or some shit like that. It's like, all right, LeBron. But
they have a lot of good right. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, all right, now you're
No.
giving input to your old team that you sabotaged through fucking contracts.
Yeah.
But Mobley's just phenomenal, man. I can't get enough of him. And in 3-4 years from now, I know Simmons was saying Garnett comparisons. That might be like, let's slow down on that because we're seeing it. He has the tools, it's there, but consistency is what makes good players and all that talent. Because Wiggins, hey, it was similar type of talent everyone was so hyped about. And then after a month, he sailed off.
Right.
But Mobley, if he can be consistent with the tools, and I think he will, I hope he will, it could be special. They might have like a generational type dude. So yeah, that's my little Mobley thing.
I'd really like him on the Celtics. He's just what we
awesome
need.
On the Celtics. Just what we need, bro.
Him and a point guard, like a legit point guard, and then we're all set, really. It's funny
Darius
that
Garland,
they also have is it Jarrett Jackson? I'm gonna get him confused with Jaren Jackson Jr., the guy with the afro.
Oh, Jared Allen. Yeah.
Jared Allen. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
He's the guy they got really for nothing in that 3-way deal.
Yeah.
What was he?
They're a bizarro
team or
team.
something.
Yep.
Yeah, they got like the Twin Towers back there.
Markkinen's on this team.
Most teams don't have one of those guys. They have Marketing and they have
Facts.
2 young guards. I feel like there's some trades to be made in the future with that team.
Interesting.
They're like heavy on.
Say...
They're heavy on like certain positions where it's
right.
like you have the wealth to, get rid of a really good guy at one position, get back something you need at another.
They had Kevin Porter Jr. at one point too. Like they've actually LeBron is kind of right, I guess. They have been in the draft.
Yeah.
But damn, I don't know, because I would say they exceeded my expectations as far as to start the year, because I was expecting them to be, bottom barrel, maybe 1-5. They're kind of hanging around so far. But yeah, we can pump the brakes on some of people being like, oh, a deep Cleveland playoff run is upon us or some shit. Like, nah, they're still a work in progress, but
yeah, it's just,
you're right. They got some pieces.
It's November 1st. The
not
games
even 10 games
used to start on November 1st, like let's wait until like mid-December to really even think
Christmas,
about judging any of these teams. Christmas is when the league really starts. Is that when Clay's coming back?
That's what they say, bro, but it's not, I don't think it's definitive. Man, that would be such a beautiful Christmas gift.
when I stop and
Who they
knock on
play
wood.
that day?
But that's
Real
like a
quick.
lot in years past with basketball.
Yeah.
When like a guy I really love gets hurt, I check out.
That was me with Durant and to an extent Clay too, bro. It was
Yeah.
so sick.
It's like,
Like I was
I
like,
was ready to
oh,
like really get locked into the season, and then now it
I
just
know
doesn't feel
exactly what
real
you mean.
anymore.
I'm hip, bro. That shit sucks. And they play Phoenix on Christmas too. Oh, and it's
That's a
in
great
Phoenix.
game.
You know that crowd will be nuts.
The gorilla.
Fuck, I really hope Clay comes back. Yeah, man. I don't know. Any other basketball topics you want to cover?
Um,
I can see. I mean, the Hornets have still been really impressive. Our little joyous league pass team.
yeah, I mean, it's the last time the Celtics won, but yeah, the Hornets and like I said earlier, Hayward, Rozier, like these are guys that there's been so many like talented guys that have gone through Boston's doors in the past 4
Yeah.
years. That just it's not the Belichick thing where you suck after you leave. It's not
Right.
that. Like these guys are succeeding elsewhere.
Mhm.
That's why I'm looking at our current product, just to cap it off by capping off with the Celtics. I'm looking at the current team. I'm just like, all right, what's the problem here? What will work with these two? Can anything
Right.
work with these two? Of course, there's special cases. Of course, they'd look really good if they had Giannis on the team or something. That's
Mhm.
not logical. Um, that's why we're kind of getting a little doomsday even this early into the season with the Celtics because they haven't shown us that they're a different team from last year.
That's the problem.
Their scapegoats are gone.
Right. Yeah.
The
It's
coach
it's
is
on those
gone.
guys
And the
now.
coach isn't coaching the team anymore. The point guard is gone. Figure it out, guys.
hmm Ownership has to take a look at themselves too, because it's getting to the point now where some decisions might have to be made. Yeah, yeah. I don't want. We shouldn't return back to that Celtics dark door. The Hornets are a fun team though.
Yeah.
I don't know any other teams. I guess I watched a couple Maverick games. They're kind of worrying me already, and that was a team I was high on in the
They look like
preview.
the Mavs of the
Porzingis,
past few
he's already
years.
missing games. Yeah, lower back tightness. Luca's kind of off to a slow shooting start. They had a this is the game that I caught where I started thinking about them more. The game I caught was the Frankie Ntilikina career game. Apparently, there's high thoughts on him in Dallas. Take that as you may. I feel like Dallas though, and maybe we talked about this before, but they just one playmaker away, like next to Luca. Tim Hardaway
Right.
Jr. He flirts with that, but I don't think
Yeah,
he's
it's
that
weird.
guy. He just flirts with that line. Like you'll tune into a random Dallas game, and he'll have 29 through 3.5 quarters. You're like, oh my god, Tim Hardaway Jr. is this dude could actually be right next to Luca. And then
It's
you'll
almost
come
like
tune in another
Luca.
random night, and he'll have like 2 points, and Luca's doing everything. So
I'm sorry about all the football comparisons, but it's almost like Luca's a quarterback that's really fucking good and he has no
yeah,
weapons.
it's a good comparison. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
facts.
Tim Hardaway is like
He's Brady
it's
2017,
like Matthew
2018.
Slater being your best receiver.
Mm-hmm. It's a good
It's like
point.
cool. It's good for Tim Hardaway. I'm happy you're doing well in the league, but Tim Hardaway is not getting you very far at the end of the day.
Yeah,
They need to figure it out. They need to figure it out too.
right.
That's another young. Oh, Luca's so young. So are a lot of
Right.
other
It's another
guys.
thing similar to the Celtics and Jalen. It's like, oh, they're young, got time.
Yeah.
Do we really have time in today's NBA? Not too sure. I mean, damn, I'm trying to think what else has been going around in the league. The Lakers have still been at the weird soap opera that is the Los Angeles Lakers. I think what was did we was the OKC game after the last episode we did?
I believe so.
See, like that's the shit that worries me. When you have Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, all those guys, and you're losing to OKC, who's trying to lead, literally
You lose.
intentionally losing, like they're
Yeah.
taking their season. It goes back to last year with the Celtics when they lost to OKC. That was sort of the writing on the wall. I feel as if
Yeah.
you're a
I
contender
still
or
remember
a
that.
quote unquote contender and you lose to OKC, that already devalues so much right there because that team is literally trying to lose. And the Lakers, man, I don't know. They're just
They're a brand new team. They're a work in progress. They'll probably figure it out. There's probably trades to be made, but
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know about them. I don't know about Westbrook.
It's that fit
It's
with
crazy that
Westbrook and
Westbrook's the
LeBron.
leader in assists. Isn't
Is he
that
really? Of
insane?
course he is. That fucking
That's all.
stat chasing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, let me chill. Let me chill.
so he's okay.
Yeah, you're right. The Lakers, we'll see. They're a work in progress. I guess that's it for NBA topics.
We
Oh,
can move on to foot.
Zion. I was gonna say real quick, that was just news today. Zion, 2 to 3 weeks out, foot again, or 2 to 3 weeks, it'll be reevaluated. And I always hate the reevaluated shit. It's like in 2 to 3 weeks, we'll think about it again. It's like, what?
Right. It's
So he's
like
not ready yet.
you can preserve yourself so much, like Kawhi has.
Mhm.
It's not gonna matter. If you're injury prone, you're injury prone. You just gotta hoop, bro. Also,
Yeah,
you're over 300 pounds. You can't be over 300 pounds in the NBA. You get
that'd be
paid to
such a
stay in shape.
shame
You get
if he
paid to stay
blows
in
his
shape.
career up.
You get paid to stay in shape. I don't feel bad for these guys.
Right.
You get paid to stay in shape. You're around like the top people in fitness.
Getting paid
Figure it out,
millions.
especially if you're not playing. Like you have time to get in shape. But
Mhm.
we can move on to football.
Yeah, let's move on.
We can start on a high note with the Patriots. So
Yes, we
we've been a
can.
little critical of this team. And I think I should
Deservedly so,
I'm
though.
gonna I know. I'm gonna apologize to Belichick though.
Mm,
Because rookie quarterback, it's gonna take some time to figure things out. You look at all the games they've lost by such a small margin. We have been a little harsh on them.
mhm.
The only here's why it's why I don't um I'm not too upset about what we said. And you were right to say deservedly so. It's because they almost lost to that terrible Houston team. They only beat the Jets up to now, and yeah, they almost beat the Bucks, but like I said, that's their Super Bowl. And that
Mm.
was not the Bucks at full power. The Bucks still aren't at full power. Nonetheless, we'll get to them. Very disappointing day for them yesterday. But yeah, the Pats undoubtedly have the best, at least this year, the most ready rookie quarterback. I think a lot of that has to do with the coaching. Um, did I send you that guy on TikTok? Was it
Was it
about Mac?
Jordan Palmer,
Yeah.
Carson's
What
brother, right? Yeah. It was the rookie QB thing. I think that's the
I
one you sent me.
forget
No, not
what
the rookie, the backup QB thing.
Oh, see, I watched a bunch of his videos. He had one talking about Belichick's babying Mac Jones. Well, is he? And
Oh,
he broke down some plays where it's like, yeah, Mac Jones might have completed the pass here, but
and that's what it felt like too.
the way he's sailing it, it's like if the defender was doing his job, that would have been a pick. He's had a lot of passes where it would have been a pick, and that's why he says Mac Jones
Oh,
isn't being babied. It's just the coaches are seeing shit the fans aren't. Um,
oh,
so it's like you said, you responded to that with like football is so nuanced. And that's why
yeah,
basketball is gonna be the priority on the show because football, I don't want to sit here and bullshit people. And it's
yeah.
really
Just
new,
don't see
like you said, it's
everything.
very nuanced. There's a bunch of shit we're not gonna see. I never played
Mhm.
at a high level. You never played at a high level. Like there's always so much we can talk about with football. We're really coming at it from a fans aspect. That being
Right.
said, huge win for the Pats yesterday. Defense coming up big. Big day for the guy returning to his old stomping grounds in Adrian Phillips. Just
Yeah,
a
pick six.
really big win for them. Now the Chargers might not be
It
what we thought
was.
they were, but they're still like a legitimate NFL team. They're not the Jets who won yesterday
Yeah.
against a legitimate against the Bengals, but they're not the Jets. They're not the Texans. That was a very promising win, especially when the Bills don't look as good as we thought they might. Miami, who beat us, looks like they're in full tank mode now. The
Hmm.
division's wide open, and we're 4-4. That's good to see. That's good to see.
Yeah, you're right, man. The division's wide open and shit. I even mentioned like the conference might be wide open with the way things are shaping out. And you're right,
Tennessee's
that
in
was a
first
good
place.
win. Yeah, they moved to 4-4 now. You're right. I think you were right to give Belichick a little more credit because I'm with you on that. I think I was a little more hard on him, but like you said, there's just so much shit we don't see, and there is some shit where we just don't understand why he does the shit that he does, and he'll draft some long snapper from Rutgers, but he's still the GOAT coach, and it's a long process with him, but it's better for us to just shut up and wait it out and see what he's really trying to do rather than us just jump the gun and attack him. But that's what fans do. Um, but yeah, man, that was a good one. A good win against the Chargers. Like you said, Adrian Phillips, he had that big pick six. Matthew Judon. Every time I'm watching like a Pats game, I feel like he's always doing some
He's
shit,
everywhere. Yeah.
just wreaking havoc. Damian Harris, who I asked you this, I think he's the best Pats running back I've seen in my lifetime. At least, like, yeah, honestly, yeah, because as far as I can remember,
And
when I
what
really
did I
started
say?
watching,
I said
what did you
Jonas
say? Oh, you
Gray.
said Jonas Gray.
He averaged 4 touchdowns a game
Yeah, his career
for
average
his
is four
entire career.
touchdowns, 200 yards, a one and what happened? He missed practice and
He missed
or he was
practice. He
late
was
to
off the team.
practice. Belichick is fucking
He didn't
brutal,
prove.
bro.
I know he is brutal, but he didn't prove Belichick wrong because turns
He
out
has,
like I
yeah,
think he had
it's not like
legal
he done
issues
anything
after and shit.
since. Really? Oh, poor Jonas.
Yeah,
Well, not the case with our boy Damien though. Damien
definitely
seems
the
like
best
a
running back in a while for the Pats.
well-behaved fella. Facts. He's just he
Better than
runs so
Sony.
hard, man. Way better than Sony. Way better than
Stephen Ridley.
Stephen Ridley, that fumbling machine. Gross, bro. Ben Jarvis Greenhouse, I feel like he was only good if it was 4th and inches or near the goal line.
That's who I came back to. That's where it's like I remember him being really good, but
Yeah, he did
Harris
always
is
get.
scoring a T. He's like the first fantasy guy the Patriots have had since like Gronk. It feels like
That's
he's
what I'm
scoring
saying.
2
He's
touchdowns a
electric,
game,
bro. Yeah, literally like 2 touchdowns, 100 yards. He gets it done.
and I have him
Yeah, your team. Oh man,
4 in
I'm
a row.
actually.
You're
I'm.
fine. You're
I don't
fine.
know.
You're gonna win tonight. Don't worry.
I
What are you up
hate
by?
fantasy.
You're up
I'm
at
up
like 42.
40.4. Well, yeah, he would have to score. Ferris, our commish, would have to score 40.5 to beat me tonight in fantasy. And he has Patrick Mahomes. And I might be fine, but same way you felt with Kamara, bro. If there's any quarterback who would
I
just
know.
do some nut
I know.
shit for one night,
But what's the most
and
points
it's
a quarterback has ever even scored in fantasy? Because they don't get 6 points a TD, they get 4.
I don't know. That's a good question. But I looked at Brady, his game against Miami this year,
Yeah.
which I had him for. He had 411 yards and 5 TDs.
Yeah.
And I think he had like a 10-yard run, and that was 37.4. So that's in the neighborhood, bro. So, I don't know, man. And it's the Giants. Who the fuck knows?
Oh
Team?
man.
This could
You might
get
have
nuts.
to actually
if I actually
delete
lose,
the app if you lose.
yeah, bro, I might actually be done.
That'd be the Monday Night Massacre to end all Monday Night Massacres.
Yeah, that's worse. That's way worse than any massacre we've ever seen in our league. And this is
it's just one guy.
A very historied league, like a storied history that we have.
You and Oog, right? You were the first ones. I know that you guys.
My first one, yeah.
Was it you
Monday
who
Night
won?
Massacre.
It was Megatron, right?
Mm-hmm. Our first ever fantasy game.
And you won or he won?
I won. I had Megatron, and that started the whole Monday Night Massacre, and that was the beginning of the Oogie curse at the same time.
Winning wouldn't be on brand.
Yeah, but sometimes shit that don't make sense happens.
Yeah,
I'm scared. You know how it is, bro.
I know.
You're irrationally scared until you see 000 for it.
Exactly. Until you see that 100% to 0%.
Yeah. And he's at like 98. It's not even 99. It's 98. So even ESPN is like,
yeah. There's a world. No, there's more than a 1% chance, but
I hate it.
When this comes out tomorrow, people will know.
Yeah, you guys will know if I'm even alive or not after this. But yeah, you're right, man. Good win for the Pats. Should we be worried about the Chargers? Back-to-back losses. It was to Baltimore and New England.
We should.
Yeah.
I mean, this is between buys, right?
Yeah.
Or
back-to-back games.
The buy was between these 2 games.
Herbert
really disappointing.
Yep. I guess maybe it hurts that what's his name? I know they had that maniac Mike Williams who was breaking fantasy numbers for the Chargers. I know he's been dinged up, but still, man, it feels like they have enough guys where I can't blame.
I still don't know because I feel like everybody in the AFC is beating everybody.
Yeah, the Bengals fucking nuts, man.
The Ravens who beat the Chargers, and the
Chargers who beat the Chiefs,
and the Titans beat the Chiefs, lost to the Jets.
And it's crazy because I'm thinking of 4 or 5 teams now. Isn't it fucking nuts, bro? How you think top of the AFC, you're thinking maybe 4 or 5 teams before you get to the Chiefs now.
Right.
At least I am. I'm like Buffalo, Baltimore, Tennessee.
The team in first place right now is Tennessee, but who knows?
Tennessee.
They lost their guy yesterday.
Yeah, which is
King Henry.
Good point. And who knows how that's gonna shape them, man? Because he's literally their whole offense. There'll be days where AJ Brown and Tannehill get it going.
That completely changes everything for them.
I think Julio's reached the end of the road, man. I know that's your boy, but
yeah. I mean, we parted ways a while ago.
Yeah, y'all already you seen the writing on the wall early before Tennessee did.
Yeah, we broke.
But Yeah, man, you're right. Tennessee is at the top, but now they're a team that loses Derrick Henry, so that completely changes their reality as a football team. Baltimore, I mean, I don't know. There's like
Baltimore, I just
no
don't feel good about
clear.
because of they
I
are the
guess
Houston
Buffalo,
Rockets of
maybe.
football. They get
Right?
to the
Yeah,
playoffs. I
exactly.
know they're gonna get in the playoffs, but they get to the playoffs and they're sort of
And
figured
it's
out
hold
by
your
the really
breath.
good teams.
Yeah,
Um, the Bills
maybe
don't look
Buffalo.
great. The Bills like beat the Chiefs and then turned into a mediocre team. Yeah, they won
Mhm.
yesterday, but you got to do better than that.
The
You got
Pats
to
are
put up
one. Oh my God, man. The Pats are really one loss behind the Bills in the win
yeah.
column. That doesn't seem like it was even close to
And they
possible
haven't even faced each
two
other
weeks
yet.
ago. They haven't. Oh man. Wow.
Pats get to play Miami again too. Um,
You're right. The AFC, the
the AFC
Raiders who
is a
lost
toss up.
Gruden, they're on a fucking, they could be a Cinderella story. This could be a fucking Disney movie with that team. Who the fuck knows? Since he now we're just going over all the teams, I guess. Because I'm just looking at the standings and I'm kind of going through it. Cincy, who the fuck knows? They just lost to the Jets. That could have been one of those games, though, where it's
Right.
like, were they actually
But that was the Titans was definitely one of those games when they lost to the Jets. It
right?
was just weird.
Man, so who do you feel best about in the AFC? Now that I'm just looking at it now. Is it Buffalo? If you had to choose, because I know you probably don't feel great about any of these teams.
Yeah, I guess it's Buffalo. I would have said Tennessee, but they're losing Henry.
Yeah,
So
which
I got to go
is
with Buffalo. The Chiefs are always going to be lurking. The Chiefs could
yeah.
lose again tonight. We're recording this. The game probably started by now. The game hasn't started yet, but they could lose tonight. I'd still feel better about them than the Patriots, the Bengals, all these teams that have had better seasons than them just because Patrick Mahomes,
If they lose tonight,
it's hard to
bro,
count him out. Who are they going against tonight?
the Giants. If they lose tonight, I might low key feel better about the Patriots. I know that sounds crazy, but man,
I know. It's sort of like
I
I'll
already
believe it
it's
till I
already
see it
kind of
thing.
like
I know we've said otherwise on this pod before, but it's kind of like I have to see it to believe it.
that's true because they have been to what was it? Is it three straight Super Bowls?
Yeah.
Like it's so hard to. It's
I
not
think
hard.
people
It's
want
so
to see
easy to
them.
forget.
People want to see them like miss the playoffs.
That's true. You're right.
They're
There's an
trying to speak
element
it into
to that.
existence, but it's like I can't. Would you really bet on that?
To miss the playoffs, nah, I wouldn't do that. But if you tell me like next week if Kansas City and the Pats were to play, I don't know. It might be a game.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, the Pats look good against the Cowboys, who are definitely legit after last
The
night.
Chiefs are so weird, bro. They're just lurking, I feel like. But then
We'll
again, who
know.
the fuck knows?
I feel like we need 2 more weeks of the NFL to really figure things out,
Yeah, shit
and
is
then we'll
starting to get
really
fun
know.
though. I'm not gonna lie. Football season, like this is like that turning point. They even have that little show, NFL Turning Point. You know that weird show
I
on
don't think I've seen it. What was
I
it
think
on
it's like
NFL
NBC
Network?
Sports that now it's on that weird obscure NBC
No,
channel that they
no.
have. And it's like it's a show of just the turning point in a game, like the play. Probably only seen
Oh,
like 3
who's
episodes of
on
it,
it?
to be honest. It's like some crew. It's like one of those behind the scene crews.
Oh, it's not like former players.
Yeah, or
It's a
maybe
bunch of
it is. I don't
nerds.
know. It's like weirdos.
NBA
Yeah.
NBA TV has some show where it's not. It's just like four dorky white guys.
What's that? I know that show. What's it called? That
Yeah.
the fucking nerds, bro. I know exactly who you're talking about.
They're
What's
basically
that
just
show
like
called?
guys
It
who
was
should be on
popular though. I'm
podcasts.
not gonna lie. They were popular.
Yeah, they like had
The,
beards.
I was about to say the jump. That show is like ESPN's Voldemort now.
Well, no, what's her face is gonna be on it now, right?
Malika. Yeah, they have this NBA today with Malika, Woj,
You guys are on a
Zach
first. You and
Lowe.
Malik are on a first name basis.
I fucking love Malika, man. She could have everything, bro. Yo, we just went off so off track.
Oh man, how'd we get to her? We're
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
fucking
Malika
Patriots.
Andrews now. What the hell? But yeah, man. I mean, yeah, the Pats, you're right. Good win. That was a really good win for them. They're flirting in the AFC. We could jump over to the other conference now and talk
Can we
about
just
the
talk about the Bucks?
Bucks.
Try to
Yeah,
make
you
it
can go ahead
quick.
and start. What do you feel about this one,
That was a
man?
really frustrating game that looked like they have to go for it on that 4th and 5, and they win the game.
Yeah.
They were in the control room, controlling their own destiny, and they put while they were rolling, by the way, and they put fucking New Orleans back in the control room, who are a very historically well coached team, though it didn't look like it down the stretch. And then Brady on that final drive, that was terrible. I'm sorry. He had a bad game. I know the stats will say
Yeah, it was a
otherwise,
rough one.
much like Jason Tatum lately. Like I know the stats will say otherwise, but Brady, he had the deer in the headlights look, which you don't see often on that final drive. It's like you have so much time here. That was like that might as well have been 60 minutes to Tom Brady. That like 1 minute 12,
Facts.
whatever he had. And it's
Yeah.
like, all right, I need to throw it. I need to get this across the field now. And first
Yeah.
first pass almost picked. I'm like, all right, they'll be more conservative this time. Next pass is a pick. I don't even know what the fuck he was seeing.
Yeah,
Like we
because the dude
said,
didn't
it's
even
a
look open who he was throwing
yeah,
to. Was it Godwin? I forgot
yeah,
who
I'm
it
not sure,
was.
but it's like,
Or maybe
bro, come
Johnson.
on,
Right.
give it a chance. And then that guy returned it for a pick six, which it's like, dude,
Gut punch.
if you, I know, but if he nailed it, it's over. Who knows? Some freak
True.
shit
Good
could have happened.
point.
The Bucks going. The Saints just made a million errors. They were giving the game away to the Bucks. The
He had a
Bucks were
backup
rolling.
in.
That whole third quarter, the Bucks were rolling, and then, uh, if Brady executes down the stretch, they win the game. I'm sorry. I hate to blame it on one guy.
Yeah.
He's my favorite athlete ever, but
You got to be
it
fair.
was a bad look. He'll be okay. He's had some wins.
Yeah.
He's having some wins over the past few years.
Right. Yeah. I think this is okay on his resume. It won't hurt his legacy or
Yeah.
whatever go conversation people want to have. But you're right though, man. It was a rough Brady game. And you're right. Those two, the plays that were the touchdowns and the inflated stats, and you mentioned it, they were wide open, bros. The dude blown coverage. And I remember, and this is again going back to why we can't give deep synopsis on football. Cause I think we texted each other like, what the fuck? How was the touchdown to the guy? I don't even know his name. It was his first ever catch, I think. What was his name? Number
He was just
15.
naked open. Yeah. How is he
Yeah.
so open?
And we were like, what the fuck? How is he so open? It's like, well, it's impossible for us to tell because we only see like that, whatever the football goal is, like it's fucking
Yeah.
Madden. But
Yeah.
but yeah, you're right. It was just not the best Brady game.
And he'll have some of those at least the past few years. Like you're
He
gonna get a
will
few of those a year as
at
long
least
as they're
once a
not in the
year.
playoffs.
Last year, Chicago, facts. But this game was kind of sneaky important because now the Saints are 5-2 and the
I
Bucks are
know it's a
6-2.
divisional game.
And the Saints have the head-to-head as of now. Of course, they're going to
Right.
play again. They lost Jameis torn ACL, which is so sad, man.
He tore his ACL.
Yeah, Jameis is as goofy as he is and all the just nut shit that he does on and off the field.
Yeah, he
He's
can't
kind of
catch
a
a
fun
break.
guy. Yeah,
I
he's
know,
kind
and
of
he
a
can't catch a break.
yeah, he just can't catch a break. So torn ACL for him, which even makes it worse that we lost Trevor Simeon. I say we because we're part of the Bucks now, but yeah, I don't know. The Bucks got to get their shit together. AB and Gronk. Gronk, I mean, he played the first
AB, can you play
half.
a few games in a row? Like I don't even know what the issue.
Yeah,
I know Gronk is dealing with he got absolutely destroyed in that Rams
Gronk. It
game.
feels like they're preserving him
Yeah,
more
sure.
so.
Fine, that's fair.
AB, who the
AB,
fuck
it's like, what's
knows?
going on with you, dude?
Yeah,
You're available one week, you're not available the next. We need some continuity with this team, and we need it
exactly.
soon because before you know it, it's gonna be December and then it's January.
So they're going into the bye this week, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's I like you. And you texted me this bye week. Here we go. Time to reset. Go over everything. Dust up some shit.
Yeah,
I
six and
want to
two is
see
not a
them
terrible
come back.
record.
It's not. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
and Brady's gonna have a few of those games a year.
Mhm.
The fact that they still had a chance is pretty good.
Right.
We can move on.
Yeah, we can.
On the topic of game-ending interceptions, I know this was Thursday night, but that was
Yeah, this was a good
glaring,
game.
that Arizona game. And Simmons will talk about that DNA creeping in, like that loser DNA. It's
The
what it felt like. It was
franchise.
like, the Cardinals, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals don't beat Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, and they easily could have, but it's like, let me just throw this pick right in the end zone. Maybe I'd be harder on Murray if I didn't see Brady make it even worse read
Yeah.
yesterday, but like, you have all the pieces. This is your team at its peak, and then it was a really weird game, and I felt like that interception was so glaring. It's at
Mhm.
home. There was a million Packers fans there. It just feels like what this team that was 7-0.
Yeah,
Were they 7-0 before this?
I think
They
so.
could
Yeah.
finish 10-7 at this point. It was
Right.
really glaring. I know the Packers are really good. Most teams they play aren't going to be that good. and they only lost by a little. But that was a brutal way to end a football game. And that I feel like the DNA starts creeping in where it's like, yeah, the Cardinals, you guys have some moments, but you finish at 500 every year.
Yeah, exactly. And the same thing last year, man. They got off to a crazy start. Then next thing you know, Murray's injured. He's doing the shoulder, the checking if it's good on the
I know.
sideline. Hopkins is in and out. Watt's already out for the year. You're right, man. It feels like that time of the year where the sort of like the hourglass for the Cardinals is starting to go downward. The Packers, though, man, you're right. 7 straight wins after that week 1 loss to the Saints. And kind of, man, I was thinking Aaron Rodgers, you know what he reminds me of? And this is kind of not fair because he does have the one Super Bowl, but it was like 10 years ago. But he reminds me of the Utah Jazz just as a team. Like Utah Jazz, the team, and Aaron Rodgers, the player. I see so much parallels where it's, yeah, you're just going to stomp over teams in the regular season, but let's see you do it in the playoffs. But I'll give him credit where credit's due. 7 straight wins is impressive. He did it without his guys too. I think they were Hopkins was out, not Hopkins.
Adams.
Devontae Adams was out, and Tanya. There was a brutal injury that game. I remember I
Yeah.
sent you that tweet. Oh man,
That was scary. Hope he's okay. I haven't even looked.
Yeah, they said there was a report after it, like he was moving his extremities, which is good. But yo, that hit and like looking at that shit in slow motion, you wouldn't be surprised if you think you heard the dude broke his neck, spine, back. Like that shit was
It's such a
crazy.
wild experience where fans were
Facts.
chilling at home and we're just watching these guys like
Murder each
come
other.
close to death.
Every play.
There's 10 minutes of concern and then it's back to football. And people by the end of the game, you're not talking about that. You're talking about the Kyler Murray interception. It's such a weird, like,
Yeah, no bullshit.
Sometimes
bro.
I just question like what brought everybody to this point in life.
Well, we're sickos. Humans are naturally sickos.
Right. What was I gonna say about Aaron Rodgers?
That's a good point, man. We're really gonna look at an interception win. Yeah, I just real quick back on top of that. I remember there was this one episode where Solo had some lineman on, and he was talking about how even linemen every play, like they're low-key getting a mini concussion every play just by the normal blocking against the lineman is boom, like head collision, boom, head collision. And it just adds every play, bro. Imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right, yo. Football is one of those just the way we digest football is crazy fast. But yeah, anything else on that Thursday night game that you want to talk about?
Just from the Bucs perspective, it feels good that the Packers, like the teams in front of you and the teams you just lost to, like these are teams you went into their houses last year and beat them. So it's like the pressure isn't crazy there. There's no, I talk about the mental hump or the mental block. Like there's no mental block with beating these teams. The only thing that worries me is the Rams are just red hot and they just got Von Miller.
Yep.
And they already have like one of the best defenders of all time in Aaron Donald. It's just they're going all in this year. They did it a few years ago, lost to the Pats in the Super Bowl. But this time they have Cooper Kupp in his prime, Matt Stafford, Robert Woods, and just like weapons galore. Defense is even better than it was then.
Ramsey.
They are in the best shape to win the Super Bowl, in my opinion, at this point in time, at least.
Might be what you want. It's between them and the Bucs, because the Bucs, I just want to see them at full forces go.
I'm saying at this point in time,
like
the
4
Bucs
straight
are
weeks.
They're not healthy, and their defense is undisciplined and will come up short here and there. You got Brady throwing picks at the end of games too, which isn't a good look.
Yeah, you're right, yo. The undiscipline of that defense, oh my god, just drives you nuts. Because you get a stop on 3rd and 8, and then you see the flag, unnecessary, or what is it, personal foul on it. And Ndamukong Suh, number 93, and you look at the replay, he's punching someone in their teeth for no reason.
He's curve stopping some guy, yeah.
Yeah, they got to get that shit together. Yeah, you're right, man. The Rams, that's a tough team. They just beat on Houston, I think, this past week.
I know. And then Houston like came back a little bit. Just like garbage time TD after garbage time TD.
That was just some red zone shit. What was some other red zone shit? Carson Wentz blowing it in for Indy in the overtime loss to Tennessee. Yeah. Which is, if you watch Carson Wentz over the years, you kind of expect that. Yeah. What else happened? The Jets, we already talked about that. The Cincy
Mike White.
Yeah.
Big day for that guy.
What was
Oh, and
Simmons
then the
calling him? White
Cowboys.
Lotus. The
Yeah.
Cowboys. That's the good one. The day of the backups. Yeah,
And that was
because
really nice to see. I don't know. They
Cooper
kept showing this.
Rush.
Yeah, they kept showing his family in the crowd. It just looked like the
That was
best moment of their
awesome.
lives. It was just nice to see. I
Facts.
was happy. I'm not a Cowboys fan. I was happy to see that. He
I'm
played a
with
fucking
you.
awesome game, and
He did. Yeah,
they
he
beat
was.
a decent, weird Minnesota team, but nonetheless, they beat them on the road, and it was in Minnesota, right?
Yeah. Yep.
You can never tell because the Cowboys just have a million fans
The
that will
indoor
travel
shit.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're
Facts.
both
That
indoor. They're
too.
both in state of the art domes.
That
Um,
too.
he made a nice pass to Cooper at the end, which I saw that and I was like, oh,
Gave me
Jay.
like a mini stroke because
Yeah,
it's
it's like
like
it's Jay's going
seriously.
against Cooper in fantasy, and it's like if
Yeah.
Cooper doesn't catch that, you can probably rest easy.
Oh yeah, I'd be
You
chilling.
know,
Definitely chilling.
it's like that. Who knows? But yeah, that was
But you're
fun to
right, man.
see.
That was a fun
Happy
game.
Halloween.
Facts. Yeah, that was fun. It's always fun. Just Chris and Al, man. I just enjoy them so much. Dak, I mean, calf injury that he suffered in the Pats game on that game winner. They have the bye week and then he misses it again this week. Is that cause for concern, or you think they're just being a little extra cautious there? Because I thought that was a little spooky. After the bye week, like, damn, you need another week, bro.
I think it's a little cautious. I think it's a little too cautious, but
Yeah,
it's cautious nonetheless. It's
but
not
it's
concern.
it's not like some lingering shit. Yeah. But yeah, the Cowboys, yo, they're so deep too, man. Like they had that touchdown bomb to Cedric Wilson, that 70-yard bomb. It's like, yo, they have five guys who can just break one out of nowhere. Zeke, of course, he had that fantastic play in the red zone to set up the game winner to Cooper, where it's like, yo, that's why he's, a guy that's respected in the league because he could just do the little shit like that, split two guys, get the first down. Yeah, that was a fun Sunday night game, man. Usual Kirk Cousins disaster on primetime. What's new? But that's Kirk Cousins.
I love that. He
That was like
looks like he's gonna throw a pick here.
facts. That's like the perfect game where, because you even said it, they're a weird decent team. That's just a perfect description for them. And that
Right.
game was why it's like, okay, that's the weird part, not the decent part. It's
Right.
like, what, 2 for 12 on third down? Kirk Cousins just missing dudes. They have so much guys too. It's crazy. They're just as low key, like as deep as the Cowboys, but Cooper Rush beats Kirk Cousins. That's the story.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lions might be going for 0-17. That's another storyline. Pittsburgh and Cleveland, that was just a stupid game of the day, man.
Yeah.
I hated
It's
every second
crazy.
red zone
Pitt
would show
is really
that, pissed
holding
me
on.
off. Ben, right? I'm hit. It
They're
is
just
crazy.
holding on for dear life for like relevancy at this point. It's crazy. Like props to them for being as good as they have
For
been with
relevancy and
this,
for safety.
with
I feel
everything
like.
going on.
Yeah. Man, that game was so stupid. Mike Tomlin, I even tweeted this. He sacrificed his kicker on a fourth down at the end of the half for no reason. And then they had to play the whole game without a kicker, going for two, going for like 4th and 9. And of course, as Pittsburgh is trying to give the game away, Baker's like, nah, I'm good. Y'all can keep it.
Biggers.
I don't even think he
I'm so
came in,
down.
and then I think, what was the backup? I don't even remember their backup's name. Case Keenum, I think, finished the game. Those two teams are just depressing, man. Poopa clocks, those are the Poopa clock leaders right there. The Poopa clock big bros, Pittsburgh and Cleveland. But yeah, man, we can move on. We could probably just move on to our new favorite segment if you're ready.
I'm
You have
ready.
any last thoughts?
Yeah, no, I mean, we might just close out the podcast with this every week.
I love this game, bro.
I got 5, you got 5. You want me to start?
Yeah, you can start. What you got for me?
All right. Al Horford.
Al Horford. Man, Al Horford. Kind of bad vibes, to be honest. Yeah.
Explain yourself.
I know, and I love Al. Like I was on the chair saying he's gonna be the glue guy we need. But yo, I don't know. It just looks like he's so much slower. He just looks old sometimes out there. He'll have moments where he'll recover and he'll get a block, but then he'll have 5 other moments where he's just getting beat so bad. So, and maybe I had too high of expectations for him. Maybe I was expecting him to be like a true anchor for us, like the 2017, 2016 days of Al.
Right.
He's obviously older, but yeah, slightly bad vibes, honestly.
Okay. All right.
I hate to say it. All right, let me see. Who do I have for you first? I got this is an interesting one. Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, bad vibes. What a
Oh,
letdown of a career.
yeah.
I think it's wraps before it even
Damn.
started.
He's getting there in age too.
Yeah, it's like you're getting past your prime. This is a mess. This was supposed to be the place where you figured everything out, and that has not happened.
He's got to be 29.
Everybody on that team is a disaster except their running backs and there's
Yeah.
some of their defensive guys. But it's
Poor
like,
Jarvis. I feel like Jarvis had rubbed off on him, that bad juju. Like he was
right, he's
such a
just a good
do-it-all
football
guy in
player, you know?
Miami,
Yeah,
consistent,
he's just a
and
good
now
football
he's
player.
toxic, fumbling shit.
Mhm. A bunch of superstars on that team for nothing, you know?
A lot of commercials on that
Yeah, a
team
lot of
too.
commercials.
Yeah, you're right. Cleveland's such a weird team because they have a lot of talent, but because they got Miles Garrett. I'm just looking at their shit right
Yeah,
now. But yeah, so Odell, bad vibes. I think that's fair, man. I'm with you too. Really, yo, you're right. Disappointing ass career. Because when
so
he
far.
first came into the league, that first two was it the first 2 years? It was a third year where he got
I mean,
Swookie.
he has that catch, and I think that's year
Yeah,
one.
which could have been the greatest and best thing that's ever happened to him at the same time
Mhm.
when you think about it.
Greatest and worst thing that's ever happened to him because of
Yeah,
the expectations after.
right. It's like it changed his life because now he's a global phenomenon, which is crazy, because he really turned into a household name after that one play.
Right.
But then it's like, all right, are you the next Jerry Rice? Like, what's good?
Yeah.
It's like it's not the case. But
Yeah, and it's
all
like,
right.
oh, you're making fun of him for his tirades on the sideline, but when the white quarterback does it, they're firing up the team. It's like, no, this guy could have gone anywhere, and he chose to go to Cleveland with that quarterback. Um, like I give him okay, you had Eli Manning, so it's not a great start to career. But
Yeah.
do you really care about winning if you chose Cleveland in that
Right.
quarterback for like the money you got and everything, or would you have took a pay cut and went somewhere else? Do you want to be in a good system, or do you want to be the star and have people not be able to tell you what to do? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Like
Or it's
I'll
like
say he
you might just be a diva.
yeah, I'm with you on that. Like I'll say he has gone a little bit snake bit with the injuries to
Right.
like his slightest of defenses. But when you just look at the overall thing, it's so disappointing because there was years where he's just out there. Even this year, man. And I know Baker is gonna miss 10 throws a game,
Out
but
there doing cardio.
yeah, it's out there, cardio workout. Check the Apple Watch after, see how much you ran. Seems like that's Odell's job these days. All right, so Odell, bad vibes. Who do you have for me?
James Harden.
Ah, the beard. I just start off with a nickname for everyone, even if they don't have a nickname. Um,
I can't wait to see what your other ones are.
James Harden. This is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. I'll say better vibes. That's a cheap answer, I know, but better vibes. It was, if you asked me this 2 days ago or before the Indiana game and Detroit game, it was spooky vibes. Now it's slightly better vibes because for a second there, I was actually like, yo, this dude actually not know how to play basketball if he is not getting the fouls. And in those 2 games, he kind of showed, okay, he was moving without the ball a little bit. He was doing some other things. So better vibes, but now, the more I think about it, though, I still have to say bad vibes. I'm just thinking this out loud now. I have to say bad vibes because it's better vibes. But if I'm looking at it from the season and I feel as if that's the best answer to give, it's still a disappointing start. So, yeah, bad vibes. Hopefully on an upward trend, but yeah, bad
Yeah,
vibes, man.
just these things change.
Yeah, they fluctuate for sure. It's like, I don't know. It's supposed to be this is like when Brooklyn traded for him, it's supposed to be okay. If Kyrie goes out or if Durant goes out,
Yeah,
you
this guy's
just
the guy.
you carry it. But looks like some external changes out of his control, rule changes might hamper that. I don't know, man. We're gonna see it. That's man. Now we're gonna do a little Harden thing, but it's gonna this rule change and how it affects Harden. It's gonna be a legacy type shift, honestly. If he just
I was, I
and
texted
you
you what
brought
I
this up
texted you.
once,
I don't want to
yeah,
say it on the podcast just yet because I need more evidence and I don't want to jump the gun here.
that's
But
fair. That's really fair.
but yeah, I second everything you're saying. I do.
It's like, yo, man, there's more to the game than just
Mhm.
baiting for fouls, or if you don't have the ball, just standing at half court and watching your dudes play.
And
So
that's on top of the playoff blunders.
right. So that's something, one of those big picture things to monitor, which the NBA, of course, doesn't have enough of any big picture topics. We know how that league is. So yeah, Harden, that was a good one. All right, so it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
All right. I said Odell first. All right, let me hit you with a basketball one. Damian Lillard.
Always good vibes for Damian. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's my guy. It's one of my favorite players because he just balls. He gave me one of the great. He's given us some of the best like heat check moments.
For real.
And has been like a hero, like the unsung hero of some playoff series where it's like Paul George and Westbrook are being bullies and Lillard just sends them home by himself.
So
after people saying Westbrook's better than Lillard, and he's had great nights. He had that great night against Denver last year. I just like watching him, and like I said, like I've tweeted this, like I've watched so many like Thursday nights. Blazers are just on, so it's like I've watched so much Damian Lillard.
Yeah,
life because they're always on TV on like Thursday night. I'm home.
Right.
I'm a fan. I like what I see.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Can score however he wants, you know?
Right.
And he's not like a head case either with it. Like he can play.
He's so fearless too.
He's fearless and he's really great for his size. He's probably one of the greatest players of all time at his size. I defended him when people were giving him shit about the all 75, but yeah, that's my guy. Yeah, I think he belongs there. Yeah, he's had a great career. He's been consistently great. He's consistently been in the top 10, top 5 of MVP voting. That's my guy.
Yeah, as far as like Dame, big picture Dame, man, yeah, career, he's been a guy, you're right. He had to deal with a lot of bullshit in Portland. A lot of just weird moves that never really improved the team, but he stayed loyal. I guess I bring it up more so because this year it's looking like, I don't know. You think it might get to him this year where he might blow it up? Because this is his worst year statistically by averaging 18 points.
We'll see. I mean, he's getting up there in age.
Shooting. Do you think he might just be, I don't know, man. We'll see. Because if I'm Dame and he
like, I think he sucks.
Yeah, Dame just fucking, he's like, Anthony Simon should be getting more minutes to him.
Do you think he's chips?
Like, isn't he low-key kind of ass, bro? Nah, man, but I don't know. I just question if it's reaching to the point where he might blow it up in Portland soon. Just get fed up. And that's one of those type of blow-ups where I'm not gonna scour him like I would.
It's like anybody else would have asked out like 5 years ago.
Right.
Even more.
So we'll see.
Which is another reason I love him. He's earned the right to leave. He's earned the right to leave. It's not. Hell yeah. Bullshit. All right, I'm gonna give you this one.
Good vibes for Dave.
I wonder what this one's funny. Shannon Sharp. we can expand this.
I'll say, I like that. I like this one. I'll say, I'll say good vibes, and I say that because he obviously has some of the worst takes of all time. But if you learn to not, this is the thing with some of these
if you
guys,
don't listen to what he has to say,
if you learn not to take him serious and you're just watching it for like a bored YouTube 10-minute bender that you're on just to hear some entertaining funny shit, he could be entertaining, man.
Yeah.
Show up with a cigarette and Hennessy, him and Skip, like that shit it's pretty funny. So
he's pretty wild.
Yeah, as far as like I'm not going to him for my exactly. I'm not going to Shannon for my my deep analysis. He might have a few good takes here and there, but I'll say good vibes just from a pure entertainment standpoint, because that's how I view him. I just view him as an entertainer, not savant. Shannon, man. Yo, it's him and Skip. Oh my God.
Skip. He'll be one down the line.
Skip every fucking night. Yeah, I'll save my Skip shit then. But every fucking night it's some ridiculous tweet. That's like, is he serious?
Yeah, he
actually mean this?
He's legitimately crossed lines
several times.
And I remember Rosillo saying he's a jerk too.
Yeah, Rosillo hates him, right?
Yeah, I'm like, that's all I need to know.
Yeah. Rosillo sometimes could be a fucking dick, but
right.
Yeah, it seems like his ESPN experience is like a lot of the guys that he says were weird, they actually were weird.
Right. I think he keeps it real.
Yeah. So yeah, Shannon, man, that's a good one. All right, who do I have? Who do I have? So I just
Worried,
did.
I
I just
believe.
gave you Lillard. All right, I'm gonna switch it up to football then. Russell Wilson, guy who's injured right now.
This is weird. This is like right in the middle. I'm gonna go more bad vibes because
Mm,
as a person, I think he's pretty corny. And for a while, I was like, why are you guys making fun of him? Because he's not like a trap star or something, or like a rapper or
yeah,
something. He's just like a
I know what you
model
mean.
dad and shit.
It's
Then
like,
I
what's wrong with
realized he
that?
shoves that model dad, great positivity stuff. He shoves it down people's throats, and everything he says in these interviews sounds so phony, and he is very full of himself, I feel. And he's not on the level he thinks he is. That being said, he is like one of the great athletes we've gotten to watch over the past decade. So as a player, I'm gonna say good vibes. As a person, I'm gonna say bad vibes. Not like he's a monster human being or anything. Just like he's very
He's not
boring
authentic.
and he's not authentic. That's the word.
Yeah, I'm with
He's
you
not
on that.
authentic.
You could definitely see it to it. Like even his and some of his Instagram videos, bro, they're
Yeah.
so weird. It's like, and Russillo always he says he's doing this as a whole marketing thing. I mean, I don't fucking know if that's true or not. I'm not in him and Sierra's bedroom meetings, hearing what their schemes are for taking over the world.
Yeah.
But you're right. It does really feel like a lack of authenticity, trying to sell this image of himself as this guy that's perfect. I don't know. But you're right. As a player, he's awesome. Can't take that away from him. So good
That's a good
vibes
one though.
on the field, bad vibes off the field. I like that. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm trying to get interesting with these. There's only so much guys until I'm gonna start getting more creative though. I'm gonna start expanding. Who do you have for me?
Two more. Staying on quarterbacks, Aaron
Okay.
Rodgers,
Ooh, Aaron Rodgers, man.
fresh off a big win.
Yeah. Honestly, similar to your Russell Wilson answer. Good vibes on the field, and that's kind of limited because
Yeah.
I'm over the regular season stuff to an extent. It's still impressive though. I can't completely shit on the fact that he's constantly, leading the league in completion percentage, whatever it is, accuracy, touchdowns, wins. Like that's still impressive to do that in a regular season.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, then that's why most of us consider him a top 10 all-time guy. But then when you start going top 5 all-time, hell, some people will be like top 3 because just the talent alone after maybe Brady, Montana. It's like, Rogers, Peyton. It's like, nah, first of all,
Some
Peyton's
people
way.
say best all time.
So you're right. Yeah, there's actually some nuts that'll even go that far. It's just like, bro, what the hell have you
Yeah.
been watching the past 10 years? That being said,
Yeah.
man, I don't like the way he carries himself off the field, much like Russell Wilson. But I hate it actually way more than
Wilson.
Wilson's, because he just seems like a fucking diva, bro. He just moves to his own tune.
Yeah.
There's shit about him, and I mean, I guess maybe it's not fair to speak about it, but like his own family,
His
he doesn't
family.
even
Yeah.
talk to his own
Yeah.
family. Yeah, and who the fuck knows? Maybe
And he
there's some
just
shit
dates
we don't know about.
celebrities.
Yeah, he's like weirdly obsessed with being a Jeopardy host. There was that whole
And
league.
he wants to be like Mr. Lovable, like I'm
Yeah,
down to earth, I'm
so
funny
much
and
weird
shit,
shit
but
that
it's
he
like it
does.
sounds like you're a diva.
Yeah, leaking the
Um,
fucking I want to get traded right on draft night, throwing the Packers in a
right.
tailspin. It's like, bro, you just want attention. He just, I don't know. He's so weird to me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good vibes, similar to your answer with Russ. Good vibes on the field
Mm-hmm.
with the conditions, obviously, of the postseason success, but off the field, not good vibes, man. Weird guy, if you ask me. All right, let me see who I have. So this is my second to last one.
Yeah, and then I have one more and you have one more after that.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll go for basketball then. Zach LaVine. What are your vibes with him?
I don't know much about him outside of the game, to be honest.
Me neither,
But
to be honest. So this could be a basketball
I'm gonna
strictly
say
on the court
good
answer.
vibes because it's one of those things where people hype him up and then the zag is like, no, he's good points on bad, he's good stats, bad team guy, and he's a head case and shit. But then people go way too far with that. Where it's
Yeah.
like, No, it's really hard to play in the NBA, and he's getting buckets on dudes. And
And he
I
hasn't
liked what
had
I saw
great
from him.
teammates.
I like what I saw from him in the Olympics.
Yep.
Much more than like 80% of that roster.
Tatum,
I
cough,
like what
cough.
I like what I saw from him. I'm gonna say good vibes on Zach LaVine.
I like that. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I feel a victim to that thought process too of, oh, he's just on a bad team. And that could just be such an easy take. Like, he's
It's such an
averaging
easy take. It
25.
is.
Yeah, but they're the Bulls and, he's supposed to be the guy. Why is he not leading them? But then you look around at the Bulls roster those years. And so just last year when they really started taking shit serious, but it
Yeah.
was Wendell Carter, Laurie Markkinen was never healthy. Kobe White, Russillo's favorite player. So yeah, I think that's fair. That was a fair assessment of him. So good vibes for Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you on that. I'd agree. So I think that's very fair. All right.
So
Who do
I'll
you
cap it
have?
off. I'll cap off mine. I'll give you one more. The commissioner of the fantasy football league we're in, Ferris Sharari.
Oh, man, it's not. Is this for real, Paris?
Yeah, it's
Is
Ferris.
it? Oh, they're nothing but good vibes, man. That's the
Give him some
Don
love.
right there. Yeah,
He's
I
doing some
love
big things
Hoogs.
over there on the Hurt Business.
Hell yeah, man! I'm so proud of
Quick
that.
plug for the Hurt Business. Go listen to that if you like MMA and boxing.
Yes. Yeah, they got some good stuff, man, that they're doing. Check them out for real. Yeah, Ferris, awesome guy. One of the most lovable friends that we have, I think. I
Yeah,
think you
just
could
a great
agree.
guy. Sweet.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sweet, awesome kid, man.
he's
Love
one
him.
of those guys when people aren't in the room with him. I'm just gonna say this. I'm not gonna say who, but like people only say good things about. I've never heard anybody say shitty things about him behind his back.
Facts, yeah. He's just one of those guys. It's like, yo.
Even though they're talking to me, so maybe they wouldn't, regardless. But I'm just saying, like everybody
True.
loves him, as they
Yeah,
should,
right.
as they
I'm
should.
with you, man. He's a good kid.
Yeah, good vibes.
So yeah, Commish, great vibes. Who
You just go
okay, now
off
it's
on
mine.
him for like 20 minutes when I ask it.
I'm like, oh my, I fucking hate Ferris so much, bro. Nah, I love you, Ferris, bro. All right.
What
Who
if
do I have?
Pat? Do you love him if Pat Mahomes is 45 tonight?
No, that of course that just ruins our friendship easily. I probably don't talk to him ever again. I'm not even joking, bro. If he beats me tonight, it's over.
Yeah, you're just gonna go off the grid in general. This
Yeah, actually,
podcast will cease to exist.
it's gonna get dark, bro. It's gonna get real dark. I don't. Let
Let's
me
see. The
check
game
real
started
quick.
by now.
I know. I just looked at the time. Ah, shit. Watch it be like 15 points. Patrick Mahomes. 1 minute left in the first quarter.
Mahomes
Bro,
is
he
a
already
touchdown.
has like a touchdown and an interception. Okay, he's
Oh,
being
that's
weird
good.
today.
Yeah, he's
Okay, and
been
it went
really
up to
weird.
99%. Okay.
There you
But
go.
his projections went up to 128. I could have sworn it was at 127 before the That's kind of low key weird. I fucking hate fantasy, man.
Oh,
Bro, no
Mahomes' birthday is
bullshit.
coming up. Oh no, it already passed. I'm stupid. Why do I think it's still September?
Yeah, it feels like it, bro. It's fucking about to be Christmas. All right. Who was it my turn? I don't even
Yeah, I
remember.
finished with Ferris.
Oh yeah, true. All right. Who's my last? Okay, yeah. Wait, where? I'm retarded. It's like only 5 names, and I'm trying to remember who it was. It's only one guy left. Ezekiel Elliott.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You know that's my
Yeah.
baby.
I just want you to give him
It's my
some praise
fantasy
real quick.
darling. What a
Go ahead,
great
man.
football play last night
Hell
to
yeah.
seal that game,
It's
or to
awesome,
get not
bro.
seal it, but to get them in legitimate
Basically.
winning position.
Yeah.
He was just a monster, and he's at that age, or he's in that the miles where it's like the all-time greats are still good at this point, and he is. He's not
Yeah.
DeMarco Murray or you name it, who like had a great couple seasons or a great one season. Like this dude had a bad year, bad stretch, did something about it, got in
Right.
shape. Now he's balling again, and it's just nice to
Facts.
see. Not a big stat night last night. My fantasy team, we didn't need it. We didn't need anything from him, So I told them to keep it light. I sent them the text, but yeah, I love the football player. Off the field, I know he's had some
Questionable things.
domestic violence stuff, I think, but
Oh, like
as a
they I mean
football
they
player, I love it.
is it that's just part of the if you're an
That's part
NFL
of
running
being the
back, that
NFL.
just comes on your resume, domestic violence case.
I mean, he's not
Cool.
Joe Mixon, right?
What did Joe Mixon do again?
Have you seen the video of that? That's a terrible way
I
to finish the podcast.
I know. Jeez.
Dog, he knocks this girl out in the bar. Like he knocks her out
Bro, they're
on
sick,
tape.
bro. Oh, yo, I did see this. Yeah, I remember now in the bar. Yeah, he just
Yeah.
snuffed her shit.
Yeah, it's just as bad as the what's his name shit.
Yeah, when you said bar, that's when I
The guy
remember
who
because I
kissed
was
the
low
girl.
key mixing
Kareem
it up
Hunt.
with. Yeah, that's who I was thinking of at first. The Kareem Hunt in the hotel where
That
he's
was wild.
punting the. Yo, those
Terrible.
guys are fucking
Yeah, there's
nuts,
some
bro.
wild dudes. It's I have said
It's
this on the pod.
the NFL is truly
Some of these guys are just so advanced in being physical human beings and as athletes that I feel like they don't understand like normal
they don't
human
chill.
compassion and
Yeah,
like the basic things you need to be a good human being. Like I feel like half of them miss that, especially in the NFL.
bro. Yeah, a lot of those dudes are crazy. Yeah, fucking So Zeke, good vibes though for
Good
the
vibes
most
for
part.
Zeke though. Yeah, that's my baby.
I like that.
That's
Yeah,
my
he's having a
baby.
hell of a year. That could probably wrap up the pod.
It's gonna wrap up the pod. Yeah.
What do we have? Any plugs? Plug our own shit.
Yeah. We promise we're gonna start getting it going on TikTok. Jay, it's Richie and Meko experience, I believe, on
Yeah, I'll
TikTok.
check. What
You
is
want to
it?
check
I
that for me,
forgot. I got you. Get IT on
guys?
that.
The Rock. That meme's
Yeah,
everywhere. That meme is everywhere, dude.
that's crazy. That's like the first shit that popped. Yeah, Richie and Meko at Richie and Meko Experience is the TikTok.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this, watch us on YouTube if you want. If you're not a big
Yeah.
podcast guy, you can just subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Richie and Meko
Yes. Please
Experience.
subscribe. Yes.
Please check that out. Subscribe to us. We need more subscribers on YouTube. We have weekly content on YouTube for you
Mhm.
to check out. And then Instagram,
Mm.
just Jane Gabe. You could type that in, or you could type in the underscore Richie underscore and underscore Meko underscore connection. Find us on Instagram. We post almost daily on Instagram, whether it be a
Yeah.
story, a reel, or a post.
Something be up.
And that's
Yeah.
a place where you can interact with us and hit us up with your questions, or
Mhm.
if you want to come on the pod, we can figure out a segment or whatever. We definitely have more guests. We were gonna have one today, just scheduling conflicts. We're definitely gonna have more guests down the line. That's
Yep.
going to be sort of a maybe not weekly, but bi-weekly thing with
Bi-weekly
guests.
at the very least.
Um,
Facts.
but yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. This was a good episode, and we'll
Yes,
see you
sir.
back here next week for episode 27.
Yes. Thank y'all for listening. Peace.